Awaken your spirit, chosen ones. Imagine this. You've been knocking on doors, praying, fasting, putting in the work, doing everything right, and yet every door slams shut right in your face. Opportunities dissolve, people ghost you, and every path you try seems to crumble. If you're the type to think, "What in the world is wrong with me?" then here's the brutal truth. Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, everything is exactly right. You see, when God closes a door, it's not some cosmic no-entry sign because you're unworthy. Oh no, it's far more personal and far more intentional. If you're a chosen one, those doors are closed for a reason that's bigger than you can imagine. You're not just being kept out, you're being strategically blocked from entering a world you were never meant to fit into in the first place. You are the exception, and the exception never enters through ordinary doors. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear might just flip your entire perspective. This isn't your run-of-the-mill, when one door closes, another opens pep talk. We're talking about closed doors being the secret key to unlocking a destiny that others can't even fathom. Ready to find out why the world is shutting you out? Hint, it's because you're about to create a whole new one. At number 1, the closed doors are shields, not punishments. When God closes a door, it can feel like the universe is turning its back on you. The rejection stings, and it's easy to question your worth, your efforts, and even your faith. But here's the truth that most people miss. That closed door isn't punishment, it's protection. God isn't keeping you out because you're not good enough. He's shielding you from something you don't even realize could harm you. Behind that door could be a toxic environment, fake friendships, or even a dream that would have eventually turned into a nightmare. While you're focusing on what you've been denied, God is already a few steps ahead, seeing the dangers you can't yet see. Maybe that job would have drained your passion. Maybe that relationship would have chipped away at your self-worth. Or maybe that opportunity would have locked you into a path that leads nowhere meaningful. So instead of letting you walk through it blindly, God slams the door hard. It's a gut punch, but it's a gift. The disappointment feels like a loss, but in reality you're being saved from battles that would have broken you. He's keeping you away from distractions, delays, and detours that could sabotage the greater calling on your life. God isn't in the business of limiting you. He's in the business of preserving you. When you're chosen, every step matters, and every wrong move can have bigger consequences. So while others might get easy access, the closed door for you means you're destined for something far greater, something that fits you perfectly. What feels like a setback is often the divine redirect, pushing you toward the place you truly belong. God isn't blocking you from your future, He's guiding you to the one that's actually yours. Number 2, rejection is a clue to your higher calling. When doors close in your face, it's easy to feel like life is shutting you out. But what if those closed doors are actually clues pointing you towards something bigger? If you're a chosen one, every rejection is a sign that you're meant for more. It's not that you don't belong anywhere, it's that you don't belong there. You're being redirected to a higher calling, one that most people can't even see. Think about it. If God wanted you to stay on the same path as everyone else, those doors would have opened easily. But for you, the ordinary path is too small. The rejection is uncomfortable, yes, but it's also a reminder that you're being set apart for something greater. The world may offer you opportunities that look good on the surface, but deep down, they don't match the destiny designed for you. God doesn't want you settling for a good enough life. He's calling you to something extraordinary. Every time you face a closed door, it's like God is saying, "No, not this, I've got something better." But better doesn't always mean easier. Sometimes it means wandering through uncertainty, feeling left out or overlooked. Yet in that space of waiting and questioning, you begin to see the clues, what you're truly passionate about, what makes you come alive, what challenges your spirit. The rejection sharpens your focus and pushes you toward your true purpose. It's not just about doors closing, it's about what they're closing you off from, distractions, lesser paths, or even things that would derail you. The real path, the one that calls to the chosen, may not be obvious at first, But those closed doors are the guideposts leading you right to it. Number 3, the illusion of the world. You can't enter. What if the world you're so desperate to enter isn't the prize you think it is? When God closes a door, it's not just about denying you access, it's about protecting you from illusions. Sometimes, the very thing you're chasing, a job, a relationship, a social circle, is nothing more than a facade. It looks shiny and appealing from the outside, but behind that door lies emptiness, or worse, harm. When you're chosen, the doors that close in your face aren't rejections of you as a person. Instead, they're rejections of the false promises that come with the worlds behind them. What looks like success might actually be a trap, an opportunity that would drain your energy, leaving you unfulfilled, or a relationship that would never have allowed you to grow into your full potential. God closes these doors because you're meant for something real, something deeper than what's on the surface. It's easy to be fooled by appearances. You see people who seem to be thriving, getting all the things you wanted, and you feel left out. But what you don't see is what they had to sacrifice to get there. The compromises, the loss of authenticity, the cost to their peace of mind. God is sparing you from that kind of existence. You're not meant to just fit into the world that's already there. You're meant to create something new, something more aligned with who you really are. The doors you can't enter aren't locking you out of your destiny. They're keeping you from wasting time and energy on things that don't serve your higher purpose. They're illusions that would only distract you from the real work you're supposed to do, the world you're meant to build, not the one you're trying to squeeze into. Number 4, closed doors define the battlefield. Every door that closes in your life does more than just block your path. It defines the battlefield where your true purpose will unfold. When you're a chosen one, each rejection isn't just a no. It's a strategic move, narrowing down the places and people that are not meant for you. Instead of letting you scatter your energy chasing everything, God is refining your focus by shutting down the options that don't align with your higher calling. Closed doors force you to look at the path in front of you differently. They push you to stop thinking that everything is meant for you. The truth is, not all opportunities are good opportunities, and not every open door leads to a place of growth. By closing certain doors, God is making it crystal clear where you need to place your effort. It's like the divine way of cutting through the noise, showing you exactly where your real fight is and where your victory lies. It's tough, though. You might feel like every no is a punch in the gut, like the world is rejecting you at every turn. But those rejections are actually saving you from battles you're not meant to fight, battles that would waste your time, your energy, and your potential. When you start seeing closed doors as a form of divine strategy, you realize that what feels like limitation is actually precision. God is guiding you to the place where your gifts, your strengths, and your true purpose will have the greatest impact. You don't need to fight for every opportunity or beg for every door to open. The closed doors are shaping the very space where you're supposed to win. They define your battlefield, not by what you lose, but by where you're being called to conquer. Number 5, those who fit in are meant to stay there. When you see other people effortlessly passing through doors that are slammed in your face, it's tempting to feel envious or even question your own worth. But here's the thing. Just because someone else is walking through those doors doesn't mean that door is meant for you. In fact, it might be a sign that you're the one being spared from something they don't even realize they're walking into. Sometimes, fitting into a space means compromising yourself in ways you're not meant to. Those who easily walk through those doors may have had to pay a price you wouldn't want to pay. Maybe they've compromised their values, given up on their dreams, or settled for something that will never truly satisfy them. From the outside, it looks like they're winning. But what's happening beneath the surface? What did they trade for that easy access? Often it's their integrity, authenticity, or even the deep connection with their purpose. God knows this, and that's why you're not allowed in. He's saving you from paths that lead to dead ends, from environments that would suffocate the unique qualities that make you chosen. The pain of seeing others succeed where you've been denied is real, but it's also a blessing in disguise. You're being set apart, not left behind. The world you're being kept out of may look glamorous, but it's not the world where your soul can thrive. You're meant for something that requires more depth, more authenticity, more of you, and not just the version of you that fits into someone else's mold. While others are walking into rooms that weren't built for you, remember this: you're not being kept out because you're lacking. You're being kept away because your calling demands something higher, something that those spaces could never provide. Number 6. The pain of rejection breaks you open for true purpose. Rejection has a way of cutting deep, doesn't it? But for chosen ones, rejection isn't the end. It's a tool that God uses to shape you into something stronger. When a door slams shut, it doesn't just bruise your ego, it cracks it wide open, forcing you to face what's real. Let's be honest though, getting rejected stings. It feels personal, like the universe is pointing right at you, laughing. But that's just the surface. Underneath, every no is carving out depth in you, making you more resilient, more aware, and more in tune with your true purpose. While some people skate through life, getting by on charm or luck, you're not given that luxury. And that's a good thing. Easy success can make people shallow. There's no struggle, no growth. But rejection? That builds character. It makes you dig deeper, pushes you to evolve, and gets you asking the tough questions. What am I really here for? What can I offer that no one else can? People who haven't been rejected don't have to wrestle with those questions. They coast, but coasting never produces anything extraordinary. Let's get real. Rejection hurts, but it's also freeing. It breaks down the illusion that you need to fit in, that you need everyone's approval to move forward. It forces you to stand on your own 2 feet, not rely on what's handed to you. When you're chosen, you can't afford to get too comfortable. You're being set up for something bigger, and that kind of preparation requires breaking. Breaking of ego, breaking of expectations, and breaking of old patterns. So, yeah, rejection isn't fun. But it's also not the enemy. It's refining you, making you tough enough to handle the real blessings coming your way. Rejection doesn't weaken you, it forges you. Think of it as life's boot camp, toughening you up for a destiny that not everyone is strong enough to carry. Number 7. God has more for you than convenience. When a door closes, especially one you've been praying for, it's easy to think, why would God deny me this? But here's the thing. God isn't in the business of handing out convenience. He's in the business of crafting purpose. Convenience can give you quick results, but those results are often shallow, temporary, and rarely worth the trade-off. God has something bigger for you, something that requires more than just an easy opportunity. Think about it. If you got everything you wanted as soon as you wanted it, would it really satisfy you, or would it leave you craving something more? Often, the things that seem appealing in the moment are just surface-level pleasures that don't actually fulfill you. They're nice on the outside but lack substance. That job you didn't get? Maybe it would have drained your creativity. That relationship you thought was the one? Maybe it would have stifled your growth and held you back. God knows what you need, not just what you want, and He's closing doors to guide you towards something deeper. Convenience often tricks us into settling. It tells us, this is good enough, take it. But you weren't chosen for good enough. You were chosen for more. And more doesn't come easy. It requires patience, persistence, and faith. God closes doors because He's leading you to something that has real meaning, something that will fulfill your soul, not just your momentary desires. When God blocks your way, it's not because He wants to make things harder for you. It's because He's leading you away from the shortcuts that would leave you empty in the long run. He's setting you up for a reward that's worth the wait, something richer and more enduring than mere convenience could ever offer. Number 8. Closed doors. Break chains of familiarity. When God closes a door, it's often because He's breaking you free from the chains of familiarity. We tend to gravitate toward what we know, what feels comfortable, safe, and predictable. But here's the problem. Familiarity can become a trap. It can keep you stuck in old habits, outdated ways of thinking, and environments that no longer serve who you're becoming. God knows that staying in your comfort zone means staying stagnant, and He's not about to let that happen if you're chosen. Sometimes the doors you're knocking on lead to places you've outgrown, but because they're familiar, you keep trying to go back. You want the security of the known, but God is trying to push you toward growth, toward evolution. He shuts those doors not because He's punishing you, but because He knows you're capable of so much more. He's closing off the easy, familiar path so that you're forced to move into something new, something that will stretch you and bring you to the next level. It's like trying to fit into an old pair of shoes. You might love them, but they no longer fit the person you've become. If you keep trying to wear them, you'll only hurt yourself. In the same way, God closes doors to places, people, or opportunities that might feel comfortable but are no longer in alignment with your destiny. Staying in those familiar spaces would only hold you back, keeping you from discovering the new, expansive possibilities He has for you. God is calling you to break free from the old patterns that once worked, but are now limiting you. Those closed doors are His way of pulling you out of what you know so you can step into something far greater than you could have imagined. He's forcing growth, not settling for comfort. Number 9. The world you can't enter isn't ready for you. When you find yourself facing closed doors, it's easy to internalize the message that you're not enough or that you don't belong. But what if the truth is that the world you're trying to enter simply isn't ready for you? It's a humbling realization. Sometimes it's not about your worth, but about the world's inability to appreciate the extraordinary potential you bring. You're being held back, not because you lack qualifications or value, but because the transformation you're undergoing is too radical for the status quo. Think about it. The world often clings to the familiar, to routines and patterns that provide comfort. It resists change, especially when that change threatens to upend the existing order. If you're chosen for something greater, it means you're being shaped into a force that could disrupt complacency and challenge norms. This transformation often requires time, growth, and preparation. Closed doors are not just rejections. They are divine timing at play, ensuring that you arrive exactly when the world is ready to receive you. Consider those who have changed history or sparked revolutions. They faced immense opposition, often because their ideas were ahead of their time. You might feel frustrated and overlooked now, but that frustration is just a sign that you're being primed for something monumental. God is equipping you with the tools, insights, and experiences necessary for your impact. Your ideas, creativity, and passion may be too advanced for today's standards, but that doesn't mean they won't resonate tomorrow. The world will be transformed by your presence and contributions, but first, you must undergo a journey of refinement. Embrace the closed doors as a protective measure. They're not keeping you out. They're preparing you to step into a space that is ready to be revolutionized by someone like you. Your time will come, and when it does, the world will finally be ready to welcome you and all the brilliance you have to offer. Number 10. Closed doors. Preserve your uniqueness. When faced with closed doors, it's easy to feel isolated or even abandoned. However, it's essential to recognize that this isolation is not a punishment. It's actually a divine act of preservation. God closes off access to spaces where your uniqueness might be lost, diluted, or even stifled by mediocrity. It's a protective measure, ensuring that you remain true to yourself in a world that often encourages conformity. Consider this. You are a masterpiece, designed with specific talents, gifts, and perspectives that no one else possesses. When you enter environments where everyone thinks, acts, and looks the same, there's a danger that your distinctiveness will be overshadowed. Instead of shining brightly, you risk becoming just another voice in the crowd, blending into a sea of sameness. God understands this, which is why He keeps certain doors shut. He wants to ensure that you don't lose the very essence that makes you special. Isolation can feel lonely, but in reality, it's a sacred space for growth and self-discovery. It gives you the chance to refine your skills, deepen your understanding, and explore your passions without the noise of external expectations. In this solitude, you can cultivate your uniqueness, honing the qualities that set you apart. Rather than being swept away by trends or peer pressure, you have the opportunity to develop your authentic self. Imagine stepping into a room that was created specifically for you, a space where your ideas can flourish, your voice can resonate, and your potential can be fully realized. That's what God is preparing you for. The closed doors aren't just barriers, they are pathways to something greater, a unique opportunity that aligns with your true self. When the time is right, you will enter a space that celebrates your individuality, allowing you to shine in ways you never thought possible. Embrace this period of preservation. It's a powerful preparation for the extraordinary journey ahead, where you can stand out in a world designed just for you. Number 11. You're not meant to be invited, you're meant to build. When you find yourself facing closed doors, it can feel like rejection. You might think that you've been overlooked or that you're missing out on opportunities that seem to come easily to others. But for chosen ones, the reality is much more profound. You're not meant to be invited into someone else's world. You're meant to build your own. Those closed doors are not just barriers, they are the very foundations of your destiny. As someone chosen for greatness, your purpose extends beyond merely fitting into existing spaces. You're called to be an architect of new realities, creating environments where your unique gifts can flourish. The world you're currently trying to enter may seem glamorous, but it was never designed for you. Instead of seeking approval or validation from that world, you have the incredible opportunity to innovate, to pioneer, and to create something unprecedented. Imagine the impact of your vision. While others scramble to get through doors that were built by someone else's dreams, you have the chance to lay the groundwork for a space that reflects your values, aspirations, and creativity. You're destined to carve out pathways that others will later seek entrance into, establishing realms that celebrate authenticity, inspiration, and collaboration. Your calling isn't just to exist within someone else's framework, it's to dismantle it and build a new one that embodies your unique perspective. The process of creation is often lonely and filled with challenges, but that's where growth happens. Embrace the solitude of being on the outside looking in. Use this time to refine your ideas, gather inspiration, and develop the strength you'll need to lead others. The world will eventually recognize the value of what you're building, and those closed doors will transform into gateways for others who wish to follow in your footsteps. You are not meant to conform, you are meant to transform. So when you encounter closed doors, remember that they are not the end of your journey. They are the necessary obstacles that set the stage for your groundbreaking work, preparing you to establish a new reality that reflects the greatness you were born to achieve. Number 12. The world you're kept out of is a crutch, not a prize. In a world where open doors symbolize opportunity and success, it's tempting to view them as prizes waiting to be claimed. Most people chase after these easy accesses, thinking they'll bring happiness and fulfillment. However, what if the truth is that the world you're being kept out of is actually a crutch, not a prize? When God closes those doors, it's not a sign of unworthiness. It's a call to independence and strength. You were never meant to rely on the systems that exist. You're destined to challenge them and create your own. Open doors often lead to paths well-trodden, where the expectations are already set and the outcomes predictable. While it might seem attractive to glide through those doors, doing so can limit your potential. It often means adhering to a mold designed by someone else, where your unique talents and perspectives are merely secondary. God knows that you're meant for more than that. By shutting you out of certain spaces, He's pushing you to recognize your own power, urging you to stand on your own 2 feet and carve out a new direction. This journey of independence can feel daunting at first. Without the familiar crutch of easy access, you might stumble and fall as you navigate uncharted territory. But remember, every leader starts somewhere. Closed doors challenge you to innovate, think critically, and develop resilience. They create the fertile ground for your ideas to take root, allowing you to grow into a force capable of changing the landscape around you. While others may follow the beaten path to success, you are being molded into a leader who challenges the status quo. You're learning to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, both essential ingredients for true growth. The systems that others lean on might provide temporary security, but they also limit vision and creativity. God is equipping you to step beyond those boundaries, to build something greater that reflects your true calling. Ultimately, closed doors are not obstacles. They are opportunities for you to rise above the ordinary and redefine what success means. They are invitations to lead rather than follow, to innovate rather than replicate. Embrace the challenge. You're being prepared to create a world that others will look up to and aspire to enter. In a world that often equates success with easy access and open doors, it's essential to recognize that closed doors are not barriers, but rather blessings in disguise. Each door that God closes serves a purpose, protecting your uniqueness, preserving your growth, and preparing you for the monumental journey ahead. You are not just meant to fit into existing frameworks. You are destined to challenge, innovate, and create new realities that reflect your authentic self. The path you're on may feel lonely and filled with uncertainty, but it's precisely in this space of solitude that your true strength is forged. You are being equipped with the resilience, creativity, and vision necessary to lead others into a world that celebrates individuality and courage. While many seek the comfort of familiar systems, you are being called to rise above, to transform challenges into opportunities, and to embrace your role as an architect of change. Remember, the world you're being kept out of isn't a prize, it's a crutch. What lies ahead of you is an invitation to independence, power, and purpose. Your journey may not follow a traditional path, but it is uniquely yours, crafted by divine hands for a reason. So as you encounter those closed doors, embrace them as signs of your potential and the extraordinary future that awaits you. In the end, you're not just meant to enter rooms. You're destined to build them. Stand tall, trust the process, and know that your time will come. When the moment arrives, you will step into a space that is not only ready for you, but created specifically for the greatness you embody. The world will soon realize that it is you who holds the key to transformation, and they will seek to enter the reality you've built. If this journey of self-discovery and empowerment resonates with you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. By hitting that subscribe button, you're not just keeping up with our content, you're joining a community of individuals ready to embrace their uniqueness and create their own paths. Stay connected for more inspiring discussions and transformative insights that will fuel your journey toward greatness. Don't miss the chance to grow alongside like-minded souls. Subscribe now, and let's embark on this extraordinary adventure together. Your future is waiting. Step into the world that's been crafted just for you.